Okay, so today we are going to discuss about types of calculation views in native HANA modeling. Okay, in HANA modeling, we are going to look about different types of calculation views we can create. Okay, so there are mainly three types of calculation views. One is attribute view, analytic view, analytical view, and calculation view. Okay, calculation view. In the early stages of HANA modeling, SAP brought these three types of calculation views into picture. Okay, but with the later versions, what SAP did is it deprecated these attribute view and analytical view, and whatever functionalities these two views will perform, those functionalities are embedded in the calculation view itself. Okay, so this is what happened on the calculation views. Now today we are going to look into each type of calculation view, how to create it. Okay, so in early stages of HANA modeling, we have an option directly to create attribute view. While creating itself, we can select creation of attribute view and analytical view. But now we don't have this option directly. We always must create calculation view only. In the calculation view, based upon the settings we provide, it will convert either into attribute view, analytical view, or a normal calculation view. Okay, this is how the concept is. Now let's get into the system to understand better about each type of calculation view. Okay, yeah, I will come to the description of what is what type of view and all. But before going into this, if we can go into system and see what are the differences, then we can go to that one. So I logged into my HANA modeling. I'm in HANA modeling perspective. Okay, I'm going to my content and my package. And in my package, I'm going to create now one attribute view. The first topic what we are going to discuss today is attribute view. So what is attribute view? Attribute view we use for the master data. We create any calculation view of type attribute view to to get data of type master data. Okay, na? So let's see how to create attribute type of calculation view. Right click on the calculation views, go to new, select new, and give your name CV underscore, for example, material underscore master data MD. So yeah, so if you want to create a calculation view of type attribute, then you need to select this data category. Okay, this data category as dimension. If you provide the data category as dimension, then this calculation view is nothing but attribute view type kind. Okay, so that's it. Note, if you set the data category as dimension, the default node is projection. So this is also one of the important interview question. So they will ask, if you create a calculation view of type dimension, then what is your default node in the default node in your design? So the default node is projection. So if I click on finish button here, you see here under semantics tab, the default node what we get here is the projection. So this is the top node next to the semantics. Okay. So now, so why we use attribute view? Attribute view we use to showcase, to get the data of type master data. Okay. So for now, to get into our example, I need one table where I can have my master data information. So now I'm going to my schema HANA user, and from the table section, let's see if I have any material master sales underscore material somewhere I created here. If not, let's create one material master data. Okay, let's create one table for storing material information. Okay, or else let me check one more time. Go to filter section. So in my schema HANA user, I have a table called AN underscore material. Okay, so if I go to see the content of my table AN underscore material, open content. So yeah, I have this kind of data. So in my table, I have 4 columns: material description, and the price and unit. So this is the material master, I can say, because each material and the current price along with the base unit. I have this one. Okay, so now this is a middle master data. Let's say now I want to consume this middle master information into my calculation view. So how to consume this middle master information into my calculation view? To consume any table in your calculation view, you need to bring projection into your picture, into your design. Okay, bring projection node into your design, and in this projection node, add your table. So an underscore material is my table. You can add a table into your projection node in two ways. Either by clicking on this plus symbol and provide your table name. Provide your table name. Then what will happen? It will search the database and check for this table. So this AN underscore material is available under HANA user schema. What is there within the brackets is nothing but your schema name. So you need the table under this schema. Yes, then select this one and click on OK. It will come into your, this. So what you can do is just I'm deleting this table, what I added here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm dragging my table and keeping it on my projection node. Either two ways you can bring your table into design, either by clicking on plus symbol and add it from search window, or if you can see it on the left hand side, simply drag and drop on your projection. Both ways you can add your table to the projection node. Only one table can be added to one node, projection node. Okay, na? So that's why we don't have any plus symbol. So once you add it here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select all my fields from my table, right click here, add all to output. So what will happen? All these fields will be selected and added to my output column. Okay, now I'm done. Now I am mapping my projection node to my top projection node. So select this one, select here. Now you see, now all the fields from the projection one got mapped to projection, means it came to here. But as of now, on my output tab, nothing is there. Whenever I select my projection one and add all to output, then the columns are added to my columns list here. Okay. So once the fields are available on the top projection node, it will be shown on my semantics tab. Now let's see what is happening. So in the attribute kind of calculation view, all the fields are of type dimension of characteristics only. There are no key figure. There is no key figure concept in the attribute view. Okay. Each and every every field in the attribute calculation view is of type characteristic. Means there is no aggregation. Okay. Like this attribute view is nothing but kind of master data in BW, info object master data, where each and every field is an attribute to the master data. There is no key figure concept. Even the price, which is of key figure number, it is also represents as a characteristic field only. You cannot perform any summations like that in the attribute calculation view. That's what I can say. Okay. So how to create a calculation view of type attribute? By selecting the category as dimension, we can create an attribute calculation view, and all the fields in my attribute calculation view are of type characteristic. There is no key figure concept. Okay. I am activating my calculation view. It's completed fully. If I want to see data preview, I can see in this way. Raw data. Sorry, there are some privileges issue. Every time I need to go to semantics tab, view properties, and there will be default, applied some privileges are there. I need to deselect all the privileges, activate my calculation view, and if I click on execute button, then on the raw data, I can see my data like this. Okay, so that's how it is. And if I go to analysis tab and bring price into here, price count. So 300. Fine. But okay, so you understand, right? What it is, what attribute calculation you is. So when someone asks you, this is what you need to explain. Okay. Attribute calculation view is kind of master data where each and every column in the calculation view acts as a characteristic. There is no key figure concept in the calculation view. That's all. That's all about attribute. That's all about this attribute type of calculation view. Okay, and remember we selected this as a dimension category as a dimension. So remember this point. We use this field, this word in the next calculation view. I'm done here. Now what we are going to do is, now we are going to learn about our next kind of next type of calculation view, which is analytical view. Okay, what is analytical view? Analytical view is nothing but this is a calculation view. Again, we cannot create analytical view directly. We need to create calculation view, and in the calculation view creation, in the settings tab, by selecting how to select, I will show you here. So right click on calculation view, go to create new. Now CV underscore sales analytical calculation view, right? So AV, I'm giving AV, which means analytical calculation view in short for our understanding. So if you want to create any calculation view of type analytical, then you need to select the data category as cube, and it is important to select it with the StarJoin. Okay, this makes your calculation view of type analytical calculation view. Okay, by selecting this with the StarJoin is this makes the calculation view as analytical calculation view, and click on finish button. So in analytical calculation view, the top node is below to semantics is nothing but StarJoin. So this StarJoin concept, generally it comes in our BW in cube scenario. So cube follows star schema. Okay, now we are calling it as extended star schema. But so analytical view in BW terminology can be called as a cube. Okay, and attribute view in BW terminology can be called as an info object master data. Okay, so and this is about analytical view. So now coming back to our design, in analytical view, the top node is a StarJoin. So what is StarJoin? StarJoin is nothing but fact table surrounded by dimension tables. This is the definition for StarJoin. Fact table surrounded by dimension tables. It means only one fact table, and we may have n number of dimension tables here. Okay, so if I go to my CV, so what I need to do, I need to bring one projection here. Okay, in the projection, I am bringing one of my sales data. To get my sales data, yeah, let me select my filter, sales. So there is one table in my schema, which where it is sales underscore one. Let me see what data is there. Open content. Yeah, I have some data in my sales table. So I am going to bring this table into my design. So I'm dragging and dropping my sales table into my projection one. Okay, and you can rename your projection also to sales, and the projection name must contains continuous letters. It won't accept any spaces in the technical name. Okay, so now I drag and drop my table into my sales projection node. Now I am going to select all my fields here. Okay, now next. What next? Now in this sales projection node, the important point here is in my sales node, I have key figures, quantity and unit. Okay, so when coming to my Excel sheet, here I explained fact table surrounded by dimension table. So what is the difference between dimension table and fact table? First of all, so dimension table, each and every field is a characteristic. Then what is fact table? Fact table contains key figures. Okay, now in my calculation view, this particular projection node contains key figures, quantity, correct? Then this particular table, nothing but projection node also contains table, means this is at the end it is a table format, right? So this acts as a fact table. Okay, now what I am doing is I'm joining my fact table to the star join. Okay, that's it. Then as per the definition, we can join only one fact table to the star join, and the remaining all must be dimension tables. So how to create a dimension table here? So dimension table means, as I said earlier, we need to remember the dimension word. So dimension table, nothing but dimension calculation views. Calculation view of type dimension. So whatever extra you are going to add to this star join, all those must be dimension type of calculation views. So I need to drag. So now I'm dragging my CV material master data calculation view into my design. So this is a calculation view of type dimension. Okay. Now I can add this dimension to this star join. Okay. Now it is added. Now if you see fact table is shown with some different color, and the dimension table, it is showing in a different color. In the fact table, so right click here, select add all to output. In the fact table, I have the quantity and all, and you see in the dimension table, each and every field is an attribute. You see here this characteristic symbol, this diamond symbol is nothing but characteristic. Okay. For key figures, we see different symbol. I will show you in just a few minutes. Okay. So this is how it is. So star join is nothing but fact table surrounded by dimension tables. When I added the dimension table into my star join, automatically you see it make the sales table center, and it is trying to add the dimension tables around to it. Okay. For example, if I try to add one more dimension table, but I don't have another one, I guess. I need one more dimension table. So material, quantity, unit. So I need, yeah, for our example, at least I need to create one more dimension table to get more clarity. What to add here? Yeah, let me create one short table. Okay, so to our example, now I have one more table called AN customer. Okay, so now now what I will do is I will quickly create one calculation view, dimension type of attribute calculation view based on this customer, and I will try to add that calculation view into my star schema. Okay, so right click, create new CV underscore customer underscore master data, and I'm creating of type dimension and clicking on finish and bringing one projection node here and add customer master data to this one, and right click, add all to output, and then add this to projection node. Here also add everything to output, and in semantic node everything is fine. Go to view properties, unassigning my privileges, activating. So I have now two dimension kind of attribute and two dimension views with me. One is material, another one is customer. Okay. So now I'm bringing my customer attribute view also into my star join. You see, now it got. So now I have material master data and customer master data. So to perform join between material master data and my sales, I have material. Material is the key to join these two. But what about customer? I don't have any customer field, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm replacing this sales underscore one table with another table in my, in my schema. I have an underscore sales data where I have both the material information and customer information for our example. So what I'm going to do is right click here, replace with the data source, an underscore sales underscore data. So here you are trying to, here you can learn how to replace a table in your calculation view also. An underscore sales data, click on next. So, document number to document number I can map, or else I can add all these two. Just click on finishing and delete all these fields from here. Remove. Okay. And add the existing fields. That's it. Okay. Now here also write add auto output. Now here I have material information and customer information on my fact table. Now I can join my material with the material here. So how to join this material to material? By selecting this material column, drag and drop till material. So this creates a join between material to material. And what type of join it is? A referential join. Okay, referential join it is. And if you want, you can change the join. Okay, and the same way, now I'm trying to bring material to material. So double click on this line. If you double click on this line, the left table is this table and right table is this one. So in this case, instead of referential join, it is better to keep a left outer join, because you want to see all data from your fact table, and wherever this material matches with the material master data, you want to bring corresponding material description information. Okay, so in this particular scenario, suits with the left outer join. That's why I'm changing my referential join to left outer join. In the same way, I'm going to map my customer to my customer master data. So here also double click on this line. It will open a window. So my left table is my fact table, right table is my master data. So I'm changing here also to left outer join. Click on OK. So then done. So we are done with the mappings, and now at semantic level, share, just share. At my semantic level, so these fields are from my fact table. Okay, so I'm doing auto assign here. Auto assign makes data type auto detected. So document number, order date, material, customer, all are attribute kind of fields, and quantity is an at key figure. You see, for key figure we see like this, some different color, orange color, which represents, it's a key figure. So StarJoin, this analytical calculation view, the data coming from fact table contains the key figures, and below you see shared information. These are nothing but, these are all the master data relevant fields, out of which you want to bring, which are coming via joined fields. Okay, by keeping the star join. So now, if you want to hide anything, if you don't want to bring price, and now you can hide it here later point. I'm going to view properties. I'm going to apply privileges, remove the privileges, and then activate the master data, activate the calculation view, and now do the data preview. So raw data, you see, now I got data from my fact table, and for each material I can see the corresponding, see, for each customer I can got the corresponding customer description here, and for each material I can see corresponding material description here. Okay, so this is how, how I can bring. And you see the output is not in a proper format to me. Okay, so how can I modify this? How can I modify the output format? So, when you performing this join conditions from the dimension table, remember you can pick only the required fields from my material master data. In this particular calculation view, I need only material description. I don't want price and unit. In this scenario, what you can do, you can uncheck this price and unit, which, these won't comes into your output. And from material or customer also, and one more point, my material is already coming from my fact table. Then I don't need material one more time. So I can unhide, I can hide this material also. So while doing this material join, I need only material information, description information from this join. Okay, material can be seen from the fact table. In the same way, from customer side also, I am going to hide my customer information, because it is already available on my fact table. So description only not available, I am bringing it from here. Okay, now go to semantics. You see, whichever we are hiding there, those got hidden here automatically. Okay, now click on activate button. Now try to do data preview. When compared to earlier, now at least we can see less number of fields, columns in our output screen, which resembles proper data set. Okay, so this is how we create analytical type of calculation view using the StarJoin. Difference between time attribute calculation view and analytical calculation view is, so an attribute calculation view is of type diamond master data, where each and every key figure is a each and every column is an attribute or characteristic. And in analytical calculation view we have StarJoin, okay, which where it consumes only one table as a fact table and remaining all must be calculation views of type of dimension. Okay, that's all I can say about attribute calculation view. So the final one, which is nothing but calculation view. Okay, so coming to the final one, calculation view. So this calculation view, nothing to say anything. Yeah, let's create one calculation view, then I will conclude this topic. Now I'm going to create a calculation view. So CV underscore sales. So when coming to this calculation view, no need to select anything. If you remove, if you make this data category as cube and leave without any star join and all, then this particular calculation view will be acted as a simple calculation view. Okay, in this simple calculation view, the top node is aggregation. Okay, which is nothing but summation. Top node is an aggregation, which is nothing but summation node. So here you can use any tables of type any, like you can use different projections with the multiple KPI data, like sales data you can add, delivery data you can add, and perform join operations, perform aggregations, and all operations you can perform here. But the same kind of thing you cannot perform in attribute and calculation view. So a simple calculation view is a calculation view where we can perform any type of operations, like join between multiple tables with multiple fact tables, you can say. Okay, and join with fact table to different dimension tables. All type of operations can be performed in a calculation view. So we discuss about calculation view more in detail in our next session. Okay, but for today's session, we learned about the difference between analytical view, attribute view, and the calculation view. Okay, so that's all. I'm stopping my recording.